Hello, first graders. Let's take a look at what you've got going on this week for week 3 of your distance learning adventure. As you can see, I've already logged on to my Passco Connect, and I'm going to click Learn here. And if you haven't figured it out already, you can shrink these menus so you're not having to scroll. So I've already done week 1, so I'm going to hit that arrow right there. And I've completed week 2. I'm going to hit that arrow right there. That way, I don't have to scroll through all of those activities to get to the week that I'm working on. So this week for week 3 looks a little bit different than the weeks that we've seen because we've got two week at a glance. You'll notice if you click on this first one here, it is going to be a suggested pacing if you're going to work like every day. So what to do on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, like we've been doing for the last 2 weeks. You will notice that we've added in Smarty Ants for ELA, and for your math activities, you're not going to be doing the entire problem set. There's going to be suggested problems. You're, of course, more than welcome to do the entire problem set if that's what you'd like to do. So let me go back here. The other pacing guide is by subject. So if I click this one, the week at a glance, that shows you what you're going to be doing with each subject. So it tells you, here's what I'm going to be doing for language arts this week. I've got 1 lesson and Smarty Ants to do for 3 days. My reading log. Here's for math, the lessons that you're going to be doing and the problems. So it's up to you if you'd like to do one subject at a time. If you'd like to work day by day, your choice. So let's take a look at some of the activities that you're going to be doing this week. So if we take a look at science, you have 2 different activities that you're going to be, some reading work that you're going to be doing and activities to submit. If you haven't figured out already, I always like to check my progress here because this tells you how many pages you're going to be going through. And you know that last page is going to be your activity that you're going to be doing. So make sure when you're reading through these that you click this green arrow here, as I know you probably have already figured out, to advance to the next slide, and you're making sure that you read all the things here. Now, you get to these activities that says practice like a scientist, and there's a printing page here. It's not necessary that you print these out. You could write these in a little notebook. You could just talk about them with a family member. This is not your activity that you're going to be submitting. This is just something to practice with. But it is very similar to the activity you'll be submitting. So if I go back here, I'm going to continue reading. And make sure that when you have these slides here that you're advancing through all the slides because there's lots of good learning going on there. And I'm going to keep going. Here's my review activity. And then my assignment is coming up. Okay? Whoop. There's enrichment activities there. That is just if you're feeling like you need a little something extra. And our lesson summary. The activity is called Rocky Earth, and it's actually a worksheet that's 2 pages. It does say that it is an assessment, that you're going to be thinking about all the different places that you saw rocks in this lesson, and you're going to draw 2 different locations. That looks a lot similar to that practice like a scientist activity that I just showed you. You're going to be writing the location and making sure that you draw a picture of the 2 locations that you found rocks. Again, it's not necessary that you print this out as long as you're sending your teacher a picture of a location that you found a rock with a picture and then what kind of rocks are found there, okay? And you're making sure you do 2 locations. So let's head back to our modules and check out the next assignment. So the next assignment for science, remember, you could get all of science done in 1 day, or you could do with the weekly pacing guide that says that science is you're going to be doing science on 2 different days. So again, check your progress. Oh, this one's got 8 pages of rock learning that we're going to be doing and soil learning. And I'm going to advance all the way to the end just because I want to show you the assignment. Okay, so again, this soil assignment is very similar to the rock assignment where you're writing down locations that you found different kinds of soil in the lesson that you read. drawing a picture, and then what kind of soil is found in that location. Again, you don't need to print this out. You could take a screenshot of it and draw on it using drawing tools. You could just do it on paper and send a picture of it to your teachers. It's just important that you're able to show 2 different locations that you find soil and what kind of soil is found there. Okay? Let me head back to modules. And let's take a look at math, which looks a little different this week. It started to look a little different at the end of last week. So you still have your concept development where you're going to be watching that video, a learning video about the math lesson. But then when you get to the problem set, there's some bolded directions here. So it tells you what problems to do on the problem set. So for this one, you're going to be doing number 1, all of the whole page, and number 2, but just number B. Okay, so when you download that, you'll see, or if you have it in your workbook because you took it home, number 1, and it says all, so you're going to be doing all of this, which is actually the entire page. And number 2, you're just going to be doing this problem right here, B, and not even doing number 3. Now, of course, you're welcome to do the entire thing if you feel like you need to do that. And I'm going to go back to modules. So that's going to be for all of your math lessons. So really pay attention on the problem set page, what problems that you're going to be doing and that are recommended. But again, you could do the whole problem set if you so choose. So for ELA, I know you've been working on an opinion letter. This week, you're going to be doing a poster. Checking my progress. Ooh, there's 14 good pages of learning. Making sure you do all of the activities. And also remember, if there is an activity, let me find one. You're doing lots of good S blends. Think about it activities are awesome things to just think about and talk about with your family. Like right here, these triple cluster flashcards that you have. These aren't necessary. You're not going to be turning these in. They're just fun extra practice. So you could make these on index cards. You could just talk about them with a family member, what 3-letter blends go in the blanks. But you're not going to be using this or turning it into your teacher. So you won't need it. What you will need, though, I'm going to skip all the way to the end, is your assignment. And your assignment is you're going to be making a Famous Places in America poster, writing down the title of your poster. You can have a main topic and some key details. It's super important to look at this poster rubric and what everything that you need to include. So you're going to have a title with a picture at the top, and you're going to have 1 sentence that has your main topic and 3 sentences with your key details on this poster. So you're going to take a picture of it. It doesn't need to be on poster board. It can be just on a sheet of paper or on construction paper. You can get as fancy as you want with it. You're going to take a picture of it and send it to your teacher. You could even make a digital poster if you wanted to do so. Just making sure you include the things on your rubric. So skipping on down, we've done ELA. You've got your reading log. Make sure for your reading log that the important thing is that you're reading every day. It doesn't have to be this printed out version of this log. If you don't have a printer, just making sure that you're reading 30 minutes a day and that you're somehow documenting it to let your teacher know. That's the important part. Same thing with a PE log. For PE, it's just important that you're that you're exercising for 150 minutes. So even if you don't have a printer to print out this fancy document, you're just making sure that you're logging the activities that you're doing. Go for a walk, do some Go Noodle if you've experienced that online, go swimming, practice some soccer outside, just moving your body in some way for 30 minutes every day, just like you would if you were at school. And then for art and music, this week you've got some really exciting activities. You're going to be making a silly circle profile portrait in the style of Louise Elhart, which is a famous writer and illustrator. So you're going to be learning about her and her art and the way she illustrates her books, and then you're going to be creating your own profile using silly circles. Now, it is super important. It could be this fancy, nice and colored, and this person used paper cutouts and foam, or it could just be drawn with pencil. The important thing is that you're doing a profile. There is a rubric down here for you to make sure that you include all the parts of a profile face, and that you're using circles to send to your teacher. For music, you are going to be talking about tempo and listening to some music. Then you're going to listen to a teacher doing a lion hunt and answering questions. So music activity this week is a quiz. So that is your week 3 distance learning for this week. I hope you have a fabulous week. If you have any questions, be sure to ask your teacher for clarification. Have a great week, first graders.